to give you the ability to protect yourself. If you don't have any protection, if you don't have a camera, or if a police officer has in some way intimidated you to stop filming them, you have just given them the authority to do whatever they want. Because sometimes this power hunger that happens, it gets out of hand. And everybody's just doing their job trying to make some money to feed their children. So you can't really blame people for getting a little overconsumed in whatever their job may or may not be. It's just a lot of confusion. I think if we got a lot of good people out there that start, talking about this and generally holding, especially government employees, to their jobs. All the acts, statutes, and bylaws and such are simply for employees or subjects of the Queen. If you are not working or using your SIN number, as Dean Clifford has been explaining very well in his videos, if you're not using your SIN number at the time and they cannot produce a payroll receipt saying that you were using your SIN number or not, then they cannot prove that you are thereby being an employee at the time. It's just about putting the burden of proving whatever fact that may or may not be being put against you back on the other side. You need to protect yourself. That is your ability, and there's not a crime in that. In fact, it is the most honorable thing you can do to honor the contract that you have with your Creator to come into this world to protect your body. That's the only thing that you really have to protect, the only thing that you really have control over, even though some of us don't have control over our own thoughts and actions, such being so unconscious. But when you are on purpose and you're actually taking care of yourself, you can actually really get far in this world, and you can actually start helping the community by changing certain policies that are just policies that have been made by people and they've never been contested, not protested. The problem with our Constitution is it says we all have the right to protest. It doesn't encourage us to contest any of these legalities, any of this legislation that gets brought towards Parliament. And in Parliament, all they do is argue about whether it's going to pass or not pass. They don't really ask the actual public anymore, except by way of the public writing letters to their MPs, their elected MPs, and once every 4 years going and literally signing your name to give authority to that elected official to make decisions for you.
Yeah.
So everything is about business. Are you doing business or are you not doing business? I choose to not do business, and when I'm technically, they think I'm driving, that means I'm simply traveling, and we all have the right to travel. We do. And if I'm not harming anybody, I'm not vandalizing or damaging any property, and I'm not in any way being fraudulent in my contracts, then there's no jurisdiction for any peace officer to even ask me for identification. If they want to have a conversation, of course.
But you've been stopped. I've seen you videotaping yourself getting stopped for various things like broken taillights, all this kind of stuff, and you never did get a ticket.
Oh, no, I don't get tickets for those ones.
People do.
Let me tell you, since I arrived in Owen Sound, I got pulled over for a stop sign that clearly the police officer was not behind me and would not have been able to confirm or deny. Whether I did or didn't isn't important. In fact, I prefer to not even say it. Doesn't even really matter. But from his angle,
on the air, and that'll be it.
Well, you see, here's the thing: when they offer you a pardon and you say, "Yes, I accept your pardon," you've just accepted the conditions of saying that you did or did not do whatever they're saying.
Did you? Okay, this is what someone else told me, that if you get pulled over for some traffic violation, whatever it is, that you can ask them for their forgiveness right there on the spot.
That's right. In a private interaction, like I said, if I hit you in the face. Most of the time what I say is I accept the ticket, and then I choose to take this opportunity. To you as a peace officer, I want to confirm whether you understand what your job really is. Do you understand that you took an oath to protect the public, and that when you go to the court and deliver this ticket within 72 hours to the court, do you realize that you're probably not protecting that person in the public by charging them money?
What's funny to me right now is what's going on in the chat room. Like, hate to divert the subject, but we were pretty close to the end of the hour.
Are we speaking Chinese?
What's funny is that there's like these little sub-conversations going on about who's the shill and arguing about, are they accusing each other, which always seems to happen, you know. I don't know why people bother arguing with each other. Why do you all care so much what the other one thinks? I mean, who really cares, you know? This is a big problem people have.
We have a video on this that we just posted called What's it called?
Who gives a crap? But
it's called Listen to Our Silence on YouTube / Find It Here First. That's the Grasshopper Media.
Yeah, why do you have to convince everybody that you're this or you're not that, you're a shill, you're not a shill, you're an ass?
Why waste your time focusing on others when...
Who cares? Like, look, if you go in a shopping mall, do you care what everybody in that mall thinks of you? No. Because it really doesn't matter. And it really doesn't matter what they think of me. It doesn't really matter what I think either. We just do this for, the interaction, stimulate discussion. And if you don't like it, it just really doesn't matter. I think it's of no consequence. But here's the other thing. And this other one says, I'll be back when it gets to be English. And I know how you feel. Because when I used to hear Max talking about the Freeman stuff, I kind of felt the same way. I was like, what in the world?
Let me touch on that.
And you know what? Karen used to bring it up on the radio last year, and I'd be like, yup. And then I just kind of humor her.
Well, it's because there is no way to defraud it. So, of course, you can't deny that this truth or these definitions.
Oh, wait, George is calling from the Owen Sound Jail. Holy cow. Wait, I have to. Yes, sure, we want George on. But we're going into a break in a few minutes. And can you stay?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, great, awesome. But I have to open the lines. Let me just see if they're open.
Wouldn't that be great to get a call from George from the jail?
Yeah, I'd love to hear what he has to say about this.
So all of these definitions and everything, it's all stuff that you can look up and validate with your own research, as William Cooper so eloquently told us all, Listen to everybody, believe nothing you hear, except the stuff that you can validate with your own research.
Now that I'm typing, now he stops talking. I mean, you've been able to. The minute I start typing, he's like, I'm done. And there's that. We're going into a break. Stay tuned. I'll be back with Max and possibly shortly. It seems like it's clear. Here comes the sun. Comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Of the world as we know it, it's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end. I'm your host, TrutherGirl Sonia, and it's the 16th of August. I'm talking today to Max Radico of Grasshopper Media, and I like the comment in the chat room right now, which is take a shill pill. I guess that's what the shills do when they need to relax, take a shill pill. Or maybe that's what they do to get ready for work instead of coffee, They probably have pills for them.
At least we're chills.
I don't like to think of myself as a shill at all. I have no agenda. I just do it for the experience. I mean, I make people laugh and they call me a shill.
We're a little kooky.
You know what? I like when people insult me, though, because it's really funny a lot of the time. The other day, somebody said, Truther girls never let logic get in their way. I thought that was hilarious. And Max here, he was once called the walking armpit. Anyway, so back to...
My beard is a little wicked long right now because I actually met George right before...
George is calling.
George is calling right now?
Max is growing his beard in support to show support.
Since I met George. So my beard is wickedly long, so when you see my videos, then you'll actually see that this is how long George has been in jail.
I would like to grab Max and hold him in a vice grip between my legs and shear him like a sheep.
Well, like I said, when George gets released, the moment he's released, I'll shave off the beard, okay? And
I'll do it for you with the clip.
We're not doing it for cancer research or anything like that. It's
donate this stuff for some kind of crazy afro wig, like somebody got like pubes on their head if they get.
I have an incredible amount of people who want to touch this beard. I was talking about
just like a nice Brillo.